giving you the real surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with your host, Skywalker Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Yeah. Good morning, good people. Welcome to the Skywalker Morning Show. We're streaming live on YouTube, and of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! It's time to turn that page to week 3, ladies and gentlemen. We got our first look. We're zeroing in on this Bears matchup, and we're going to focus on that defense. Chicago Bears defense versus the Dallas Cowboys offense, and how they stack up with this Cowboys offense kind of hitting the stride, and why I think this is a perfect matchup for this Cowboys offense. Now, they got to go out there and execute, but we're going to break it all down. I'm going to give you my reasons to why I believe we should be able to stack, right? Shouts out to Jason Garrett. We want to stack good days and good reps and good games on top of each other. This is a grand opportunity to do so for a number of different reasons over there in Chicago. It's also a revenge game. We got to go out there and get a revenge game for our guy, Matt Eberflus. That's a whole other story. We'll talk about the Cowboys defense against their offense on Friday. But today we're going to focus on this offense against their new defense. Plus, in the roundup, we have some injury news. That's good, really. Some good injury news that will affect, I think, right now, the present, and that will affect what's ahead for the Cowboys in the next few weeks. What's good with you, Bomb Squad?
Bomb Squad!
How is everyone doing, man? It's a Wednesday. We are, you know how we get when we get to the middle of the week, time to turn that page and focus on the next opponent. The Cowboys still, last week was a must-win game because the percentages, I don't know the percentages of going 1-2, but I imagine they're a little higher to get to the playoffs. But the percentages were extremely low if you started 0-2 and losing to the Giants and losing to back-to-back, I should say, division games. With that said, there's still pressure to win this one. With that said, you're going on the road, all right? So you're not at the crib and confines of your own environment. You're going on the road. Yeah, it's not a great team, but again, just like every team in the NFL, there's teams, even bad teams, have talent, and we just saw that, right? We just saw that. So even though this Bears defense is not good, has not been good to start the season, there are things there, a couple players you got to worry about. Schematically, they do some things that I don't think are going to cause the Cowboys trouble too much because of what I saw based off of the first 2 weeks. However, gotta come to play. So we'll break it all down, man. We'll break it all down. y'all saw the show last night. I thought last night was fun, man. I thought the show last night was fun. I love, getting into passionate debates about the squad with y'all, with my brethren, right? It was a good one. Make sure to go check that out. Cowboys Collective. But today we're going to turn the page. So let's hit this roundup real quick. Before we do so, make sure Bomb Squad members, y'all know the drill. Hit that like button before we get going. For those that are coming in, you may be like, what's going on? What's this? Is this a new potential Cowboys morning show to hit up? Stick around. If you like what you see, go ahead and press that like button. If you really enjoy what you see, share this to your Cowboys friends and family. Let's get to this roundup.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time! It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you, Cowboys Nation. I believe they asked Jerry Jones the other day about adding something in the backfield, defensive backfield, because of, the situation that happened on Sunday. It was really bad. But he gave us an injury update. He said that we will be getting help. The help will be in-house by one Savon Revel. He said that we should be, and I'm paraphrasing here, expecting him back as soon as possibly week 5. All right, he said right after week 4. He's on I believe he stayed on the PUP, so that's 4 weeks. Now he's eligible to practice after week 4. Will he just get thrown in the fire in week 5? Find that a little bit hard to believe. But I caution in that, number one, once again, man, putting a lot of pressure on a rookie. I get it. Very talented rookie. And I do think as long as he has a good understanding of the system, his athleticism, his trigger, he's a talented player. I think he'll fit fine here. However, he is a rookie. He has not participated in training camp. He has not participated in practice just yet. So let's not expect him to go out there and just go crazy right away. Also, there's the other side of, and I get it, 5 weeks in, 4 weeks in, it's still a good amount of time between the surgery and now, but just hope it's not a rush back type of thing. I have no idea if that's what it looks like. I do know there was some slight setback during, was it camp? I think during that ramp up. So you just pray and hope we're not forcing him back out there because it's been a very weird start to the season defensively. But you do love to hear that he is taking the right steps to getting on that field, because obviously the sooner the better if he's ready and healthy, so that we can get those, get the experience, because he's going to go through a trial by fire. There's going to be some errors. There's going to be some things we're going to be like, damn, but that happens with young players. So get it out the way early. That way, hopefully, when it's time to really push for that postseason run, he's ready to go. He's ready to go. More good news, and this is more so in the present. Kevontae Turpin won and got the MRI, I believe, and the test came back clean. See, this is where I gotta stop I gotta stop playing around. They said Kevontae Turpin had a neck brace on. He had a neck brace on in the locker room. I'm not laughing at the injury, but. And maybe this is just because America and movies with the neck braces, like it's always comedy. I gotta chill out. But I'm just thinking about Kevontae Turpin, his personality with a neck brace on. Yeah. I'm just having fun. I'm not making fun of. I'm just thinking about, Kevontae Turpin doing the shake shit that he always do when he got the neck brace on, man. But I'm glad that he's okay. Yeah, he's Turpin. He's just funny, man. I'm glad he's okay, but there is a chance he can play, says Coach Schottheimer. And let me bring this back to you guys, because I've had this conversation. Actually, I had it publicly yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, on the collective. But I just think Kevontae Turpin is so important to what this Cowboys offense wants to do and wants to be, because without Jaden Blue, who I think, my bad, I didn't mean to go down that dark road of Kevontae Turpin's neck brace. But I'm just saying, think about that for a second. Kevontae Turpin with a neck brace on, dog, talking like how he talk and move like how he move, doing the shake shit. It's kind of funny. But I think Jaden Blue would be the Kevontae Turpin replacement if he was ready, if they trusted him to do that. And that's tough ask, by the way. Turpin's been in the league, 3 years, or it was 4th year or something like that. So he's got experience in the league of understanding things and the know-how, and he's always been that kind of motion guy in this offense. But we're doing that at such a high rate. I don't think that they trust Blue to do that right away. However, if that's the case and Turpin's not in there, I do think that alters your offense significantly in what you can do, because nobody else in that room can do and is doing what Kevontae Turpin can do for this offense. And that's not saying they're not as good as him or anything like that. It's just all of the pre-snap motion, getting the handoffs in the backfield, yo-yo motion, jet sweep. I mean, all orbit. It is all baked into this offense, and he is a very integral part of it. Very integral part of it. And, man, what a great route, right, for the touchdown. What a great route, setting up the cornerback or safety, I can't remember who it was, to the outside, quick inside, and then Dak just threads it for the touchdown. So that is something to keep an eye on. If Kevontae Turpin cannot play, how do the Cowboys substitute what he brings? Now, I will say this. Watching the Bears defense, if he doesn't play, they still can do the normal pre-snap motion and shifts and post-snap action things because the Detroit Lions didn't use a Kevontae Turpin in that way, but they just used normal receivers to do that. So, again, just something to keep an eye on there is all. Well, yeah, Aaron, that's what I'm saying. Blue, if they trusted him, I think would be the Turpin replacement, but not as much as Turpin's doing it. But he would be that guy of, we got to be careful because he'll get the jet sweep. He can go out the backfield. He can run the ball. He can run the routes. He would be that replacement. I don't think they'd give him, what did you go in motion, y'all? 50-something% of the time, 40-something. I don't think Blue would do that just yet because clearly he's not ready. He's not picking everything up. And that could be, a reason why they're not putting him out there just yet. Could be a reason why. Let's stay there real quick before we dive into the Bears defense. By the way, if you want to call in, we'll get a couple calls. I gotta hit a hard out about an hour and a half. Coming out of this game, I think we all looked at the clutch performances of, I'll say the big four, in my opinion, the skill players. They all played, the big four skill players all had clutch moments in this game. And then obviously Dak Prescott and Brandon Aubrey, right? That's the headline grabber. But you go back and you watch, and even during the game, you can tell as well. I mentioned this yesterday, and we were going to talk about this on the Sky 2 Eye show, and we'll probably talk about it more. Something happened yesterday. We couldn't drop it. We're supposed to record today. I came out of this game feeling stacking on top of my confidence for Schottenheimer and Clayton Adams. But let's stick with Schottenheimer real quick. Because it wasn't a clean start. It wasn't a clean start to the game, whether that be execution, whether that be play calling, whether that be management, etc. It wasn't a clean start via running the ball either. But what I appreciate about what he did was he adapted within the chaos, right? Look, everybody has a plan to get punched in the mouth. We got punched in the mouth on both sides. We got punched in the mouth. And what I appreciate is that he didn't just keep pounding his head against a brick wall. He didn't. He tried different things. Now, he was spamming certain things to me that it was like, all right, let's get out of this max protect, send two guys into 7, right? They kept showing that same look every time you did that, and it wasn't working as much. It hit sometimes, but it was just like, man, we're spamming that max protect 2-man route situation. And that's a big play around the league in general, especially when you're going up against a team that has a better pass rush than you have pass blocking. Talk about that too. So shouts out to Schotty. But I think we're starting to see the Clayton Adams effect, ladies and gentlemen. We got some of it in the first week, but fool me once, shame on you type thing, right? Now we're starting to see a trend. So I want to focus real quick and really just feature and give a hat tip to Clayton Adams, Connor Riley, Schotty. But I think a lot of this is the Clayton Adams effect, ladies and gentlemen. Here are some of the metrics for the Cowboys over the first 2 weeks of the season on the ground. Third in rushing touchdowns. By the way, Cowboys had what, six rushing touchdowns last year? We have 4 already. Third in rushing touchdowns. Fifth in 10+ yard rushes on the season. 7th in rush yards per carry. 8th in run success percentage. 11th in total yards. Javonte Williams on the season so far is playing really well. 33 attempts, 151 yards, 4.6 yards per carry. They asked Schotty about Javonte Williams. He said, quote, "I'm just telling you, if you find a running back in the National Football League that plays harder than this guy, more physical than this guy, I'd love to see it. I'm sure there are some that are on the same level, but I don't think there's anybody that plays the game more physical." Here's Javonte Williams, even more inside the numbers on Javonte Williams. For the first time in his career, His rush EPA is in the positive for the first time. The previous 2 years, he had the 5th worst EPA among running backs in the league. Ladies and gentlemen, Clayton Adams effect. It is evident. It's evident in how they do it. It's evident in the success that they do it. It's just evident. And it's not like Dallas is spamming the run. No. They're only 17th in the league in running the ball in attempts, but they're extremely white. Something that I've been just dying for years. Don't care about being number 1 in rush attempts. You ain't got no backs to be doing that like that for years. I care about how efficient you are when you do it. The Cowboys have been one of the most efficient teams running the football. Now, it'd be nice if we can get a legitimate compliment to Javonte Williams. I don't believe that's Sanders. He did get a touchdown. Shouts out to him. Blue's supposed to be that guy, but they're not confident in that yet. We'll see where we can go. But here's more evidence that this is 100%, in my opinion, a Clayton Adams situation. Remember, months ago, we talked about this here. Go back and look at James Conner prior to Clayton Adams' arrival in Arizona. Go look. Prior to Clayton Adams arriving in Arizona, he averaged 4.3 and 3.7 on the ground. Clayton Adams gets there, he averages 5 yards per carry and 4.6. He more than doubled his 10-yard rushes. More than doubled it from 31 to 65. He more than doubled his 15-yard rushes from 13 to 29. 2 years without him, 2 years with him. Ladies and gentlemen, the Clayton Adams effect. I just happened to look over and I saw somebody say red zone numbers. Dallas Cowboys are third in the NFL in red zone success. Third in the NFL in red zone success. I believe they've converted 5 of their 6 opportunities down there. The one being the fumble from Miles Sanders. If that doesn't happen, I think they're 100% 6 for 6. Now, I don't know where that ranks from the attempts because I looked at the Bears. The Bears are 100%, they're number 1, but they've only been there 4 times. So, but yeah, this offense to me, man, it's really not, so far at least in the first 2 games, it's really not about. I'm not concerned that they won't find their footing. And here's what I love. When they do find their footing, I feel like they are going to put their foot on opponents' necks because it is a multiple offense. It's not a perfect offense, right? For instance, in week 2, pass protection wasn't the greatest. Tackles struggled. Cuzzo was not great. Not great with the power and the things that we know he struggles with. Guyton is still working on the technique. It's just I don't really know, man. When it comes to technique, I don't know why he does the things he does from a technique standpoint. But his ceiling is still high, still talented. Athleticism is there. But the 2 things that they struggle with, it comes out and it shows. Technique on the left side, power on the right side. Which is interesting because you're really right tackle supposed to be power guy, right? And left tackle supposed to be that savant. You know, that's what it's supposed to be. But to be fair to the Cowboys offensive line, I mean, y'all let me know. How many fronts are you going to see like that? When we did the breakdown against the Giants game, I said totally wrong with their offense, right? I thought the opposite. I thought the way the Giants defensive line looked against us is what we were going to look against the Giants offensive line. But to be fair, how many quality, I call it elite. Let's just call it that. I think that is an elite defensive line. Are you going to see throughout the season like that? You're going to see a few. I don't think you're going to see that this week. I think they got a couple players we'll talk about, but I don't think they have that. So I'll be fair to them. But you want to see them stack. You want to see them get on back on track on the right side because, according to Stephen Jones, they said, "Oh, I mean, look, I don't know how true this is. I probably should ask, but he said Nate Thomas is pushing them boys." They said Nate Thomas is pushing those boys, and Nate Thomas I thought looked good. Looked good in the preseason, man. So it's good to have a backup young guy like that. Hey, look, for me, if we're going to replace somebody, the first one will be Steele. I'm still not ready to give up on the first round pick. I think the first one you replace is Steele because you can get out the contract later. And I don't personally, if Steele gets benched, I don't think it's going to mess his psyche up. I think he'll be on some, all right, man, look, it is what it is. I got to still be here for my guys, et cetera, et cetera. You benched Tyler, who's still kind of in that, let's say, fragile state of mind. Not saying he's mentally tough or anything like that, but let's be real. We know how it got to him last year and things like that. And they already did that to Tyler Guyton. You don't want to do that back-to-back years. So I don't think you really have a choice unless it's horrendous, game after game after game. So good. Put pressure on them. But this week, I do think they should be able to handle it a little better. And like I said, we'll get into that. But yeah, I wanted to just shout out the Clayton Adams effect. I think it's real. I think it's helping everyone. It's helping this offense. And it is a compliment to this dynamic passing attack. It really is. All right, let's break down this matchup between the Bears. And you'll see why I'm confident based off of the film. Again, they can go out there and play like trash. But I'm just giving you my opinion on what I've seen from how the Bears played over the last 2 weeks. And ironically, they fired their defensive coordinator. Or I'm sorry, they fired their defensive head coach, Matt Eberflus. He's here. Defense wasn't playing well last year, more specifically when Andrew Billings went out. And then his just head coach management was just horrendous. So they fired him. They bring in Ben Johnson, offensive guy, right, to try to help out that side of the ball. And we'll get to that Friday. But they hire Dennis Allen. I have a respect for Dennis Allen as a defensive coordinator. Over the years in New Orleans, I thought he complemented what they wanted to do well in there. He's a highly respected guy. However, so far in his first year in Chicago, it's been a bit of a struggle bus. And Allen, to me, is a little bit of the opposite of what Matt Eberflus wants to do schematically. Allen will play cover too. Allen will play some zone. In fact, he'll play it more often than not. But he's going to play a lot more man coverage on the back end than Matt Eberflus would do. Like, he'll put two guys on the roof. He'll play cover too, but it'll be man. The other thing, which was surprising to me, the Bears, per Pro Football Reference, actually blitz less than the Cowboys. They're at an 8% blitz call rate so far, according to PFR. That's insanely low. So we'll see if they switch it up here, but they could be in a world of hurt because they're going to be shorthanded with some quality guys on that side of the ball. Jalen Johnson is out. He's not going to be playing. All-pro cornerback. That is huge going up against this passing attack. TJ Edwards likely out, dealing with the hamstring situation he pulled, trying to chase, I forget, was it Williams? It was somebody on a long run. Re-aggravated, I think, a hamstring, or he pulled it. Either way. And what's crazy about that, when I'm watching, as I'm watching this game, I'm like, I kept finding TJ Edwards. I'm like, oh, that's the one. You got to attack TJ Edwards with how they were doing it. And it was working, boy. It was, TJ Edwards just couldn't, and I didn't know he was dealing with an injury. And then he completely ruptured it or what have you, and we got him up out of there. But I thought he was looking like a mouse in the house potentially for what the Cowboys want to do. His replacement, I forget his name, didn't do much better. So they're going to be shorthanded from there, but they still have some guys alike, right? We talked about Montez Sweat. Matt Eberflus was in an interesting situation, similar situation, I think, in Chicago. I don't think as bad though. I think we have more rushers than he had at that time. And Chicago said, we got to go get a guy. And they sent their second round pick to Washington, brought in Sweat, and Sweat has been good for them since. He's been really good for them ever since. He's the type of guy I think wins with power, but I like his kind of secondary move, if you will. He can be a technician at the top, but he is a power player. So that's going to be interesting when he lines up over on Terrence's side. I want to look at some of his numbers. He plays on both sides. So he's going to see some of Terrence. He's going to see some of Tyler. And he's probably going to give both of them some trouble. Grady Jarrett, big addition inside. Got cut by the Falcons, I think cap casualty. And Chicago picks him up, right? As they should. I mean, I think he's a quality veteran guy. And I think he's very similar to Kenny Clark in that, yeah, he's not the best defensive tackle in the world at this stage in their career, but you can see that he just understands leverage. He's quick. He's a technician. I wouldn't call him an uber powerful player, but because he knows how to play with leverage, he can be powerful. So there's going to be times where this is going to be an interesting matchup, right? One of the things that Booker, struggled with coming out was those quick 3-tech guys. He didn't get a chance to go up against Jalen Carter week 1. And this past week, he was dealing with a whole different animal in Dexter Lawrence, totally different animal. So this will be really his first test against a high-quality 3-tech and Grady Jarrett. This will be a fun tape to study to see the progression of Booker. But also, Brock Hoffman, you got a new center in there, right? So Booker against and Brock Hoffman against Grady Jarrett is going to be a matchup to watch. I don't think Grady Jarrett is a guy that can take over the game, but he can make some plays. He made a few plays over the first 2 weeks of the season. Jermaine Edwards, one of their standout, just down in, down out, year in, year out guys. He's a very athletic guy, big linebacker, can run sideline to sideline. But much like this entire defense, I'll get to it in a second, a guy that you can play with his head. And that's all it takes. It's one split second, and he's out of position or he's not closing fast enough, et cetera, et cetera. However, he's still a quality player. Nashawn Wright. No Jalen Johnson. Welcome in Nashawn Wright, who had the pick 6, right? But it's still Nashawn Wright. I'm not. What are we doing? And then Kevin Byard. I think both of those guys are mouse in the house types. I think their secondary in general is mouse in the house. And Jared Goff just absolutely obliterated that team. Obliterated them. So what I saw from a schematic standpoint from what the Detroit Lions did, let me make sure I pull this up because we're going to jump into the film room too. So y'all just stay tight. So what I saw is a lot of what the Cowboys like to do. When they came out in this game through the air first, I want to talk about the pass game. They came out with a lot of motion, a lot of shifts, the crossers. I just think it killed the Bears. Killed them. You saw the confusion in the back end. And I wonder if a lot of that, when you play man in that way and all of that motion to action and having to change from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, it confused them. It is what it is. It confused them. And even when it low-key didn't, it opened up schematically, it opened up windows and opportunities and separation for Jared Goff to hit these guys. Now, there was some big plays where it was just like, boy. And there's one play I'll show you where I love this cover 2 beater that they ran. Dallas didn't necessarily do that, but they ran, I think, a really good cover 2 beater that attacked the safety as well in week 1 against the Eagles. But there was this cover 2 beater that I forget the guy's name, the new offensive coordinator in Detroit. But boy, you can tell that there's a lot of Ben Johnson holdover from schematic standpoint. But they didn't lose, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe Hank Fraley's still there in Detroit. And y'all know how I feel about him in the run game. But pass game wise, man, if they can just block it up, enough, doesn't even have to be anything crazy, there will be nothing but space and opportunity. Those over routes, those cross routes, killing the Chicago Bears defense. Absolutely killed them. Play action, post snap stuff, pre snap stuff. It was like every time. I'm not lying. I think Jared Goff might have had 3 or 4 incompletions in the game. It was just boom, 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 boom. So block it up, and I think you'll be able to hit them with the misdirection. That's what the Cowboys do now. Everything I watched them do, the only thing that the Cowboys don't do that the Lions do is wide zone stuff. I love wide zone, and I feel they're more versatile, and it's crazy to say because we have a versatile run game. But they are a little more versatile than the Cowboys on the ground. And because they incorporate that Y zone. We don't really run a ton of Y zone yet. Maybe it's in the playbook. We'll see. Speaking of which, on the ground, to be fair to the Bears, I do think they started off the game decent. They held the Detroit Lions, I want to say, to something like 3 yards per carry in that first quarter. But boy, when the levees broke, they broke. And again, a lot of that had to do with misdirection, post-snap action, motion shifts. You play straight up, and I saw this as well in the Minnesota game with Jordan Mason specifically. When they did a lot of that stuff, pre-snap, post-snap, Bears had no answer for it, man. They had no answer for it. The being multiple absolutely killed them. So I want to show a couple plays, both in the run game and the pass game. Well, actually, one play in the pass game. I just want to show you in the run game how you can get at them as well. I want to show a couple plays from this Detroit Lions game, if you will, that I think illustrate what the Cowboys already do that can affect this game in a positive way. So let's go ahead and hit it. And we'll let the play run, and we'll run it back just to show. Again, we know all about Detroit and their pre-snap stuff. This is what they love to do. This is baked in their DNA. That's why I say, when it's baked in your DNA in this way, it makes it tougher week in and week out for opponents to prepare for you, as opposed to you surprising them or whatever, because they know you're not going to stick to it. I love the old Cowboys, right? So you get the pre-snap motion, post-snap action. I mean, first of all, Hank Fraley's crazy. Hank Fraley crazy, man. You got guys going this way. You got short pulls this way. Tight end coming backside this way. Oh, by the way, we got guys going this way, and we got a kick out over here. As a linebacker, you have no idea, man. You just have no idea where we're going here. So what happens? You're flat-footed. We're flat-footed because we don't know what's happening here. A great fake by Jared Goff. Great fake by Jared Goff. Great counter. And take a look at what it does to number 69. We're going to go ahead and let I believe it's 69. We're going to let number 69 get in here. Free. We're going to let him free. And it looks like maybe this tight end can come here on a wham, but he's not. We're going to keep going. And the misdirection just gives you all types of leverage on this play. I love this type of offense. We saw that the Giants did this to the Cowboys a couple times. The one big play, they had this kind of double misdirection up front, counter type situation. And it worked. Cowboys can do some things like this, and they have done some things like this. Something else you'll notice in this game, a lot of condensed splits, a lot of tight formation, and of course, 12 personnel. That's something that they love to do. Just a simple, I don't even call it simple, because this is a very difficult, I think, reach here for this tight end. This is a tough ask for this tight end. If you see here, they're asking this tight end to cross face, and just get enough. They're just asking him to get enough. We're going to another kick out here. Another trap, right? We're trapping on this side here. We're trapping. But look at what the misdirection does. Take a look at, I believe this is the safety here. Take a look at what he recognizes and watch where he points. You know why he's pointing? They run so much action post snap and play action that this could easily be a tight end sneaking out on the backside. And by the way, we also have this wide receiver screaming across field because it could look like a drag, but he's really trying to set a block. So when you're doing that and you're playing some man behind it, or at least you're flashing in front of the cornerback's face, he's going to honor and respect that. Runs himself out of leverage. Great block here too, by the way. That's why you need your wide receivers to block. Great block, I believe is that Reynolds? And look, when you don't have position on this guy, it's over. It's over. Now, this is probably something that you'd like to see Jaden Blue or Miles Sanders, but Miles Sanders potentially do. All right, here we go again. Motion. This time we're going to go heavy on the left side here. We're going heavy, tight formation, and just general football stuff. You think here, all right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys to the right of the center here. Left if you're the defense. We're strong side, super strong over here, unbalanced line type situation. We're going to run this way. And when you run a bunch of, wide zone, you can sell it so much here. Everybody's going to sell this wide zone. He even sells the wide zone. But it's going to be a counter pitch. And while he sells the wide zone, now we're getting out here. You're never going to catch Jahmyr Gibbs. This defensive end is never going to be able to have the athleticism to catch Jahmyr Gibbs. And now I got what? A blocker out front? Again, more misdirection, more post-snap action. Now, granted, this is kind of simple. Wide zone look, but the post-snap actions with those at all. If we got a counter, and we're going to have this tackle sell the zone and get out front. Now, I didn't need him, but this is kind of the creativity. If you stay creative against the Bears, I think you can have a ton of success on the ground. It happened in Minnesota. Against Minnesota. When they played straight up, and when the Lions were playing a little straight up, the Bears were playing decently enough. Now, this is one of the pass plays, and there are plenty of them. I couldn't put all of the pass plays of motion affecting this Bears defense. But this is one of the pass plays where it did and it went for a huge play. So, cover 2 is what we're going to play here. And we want to put this guy in a bind, right? What I love about this play, though, is the pre-snap motion, at snap, gets him to stack right behind Jameson Williams. So you go from the 1 turning into the 2 right here. But before he even does that, he's stacked, okay? So now you really don't know who's breaking where, who's going where. And then this is just great execution. Again, we want to attack this safety. And we want to make him make a decision. And the decision they're going to force upon him is we're going to send him straight back. We see this a lot, right? You get into these cover 2s or even cover 4s. We're going to send go routes, streaks. We're going to try to make these safeties have to make a decision. And then right behind him, we got a receiver that's going to attack the center of this field on a deep post or deep end dig, whatever you want to call it here, and make him have to decide. Also, what that does is makes this cornerback who is opening up his hips for safety help. Do I just stay back? Do I make sure what if he goes out here? So there's things that make you think. So by the time you get here, we're even. I'm leaving. If this safety doesn't get back, which he really can't because he's screaming at you. This is what happens. Just a great design. And he's not getting back there. And Jameson Williams, I believe that's Jameson Williams, gets wide the hell open. And of course, you go back and you look at the pass protection. You love to see it. I just don't think they have a dynamic enough pass rush. Montez Sweat is good. Don't get me wrong. Grady Jarrett is a good player. But if this is what your pass rush is going to look like, and I'm sending 2 of my guys screaming at your safety, one of the fastest players in the league, they're going to get cooked. So just some examples of the Lions using pre-snap motion, post-snap action, creativity to get an advantage, whether it be from a leverage standpoint or what have you against the Bears. And I think the Cowboys can do this. Like you see this on film, and for the first time in years, I'm not sitting here having to beg for it. How many years have y'all seen me come on here? We do our study tape. I talk about how, if you do this misdirection, or you do this play action, or you do a at snap stuff, and we get to the game and we don't do it because it's not who we are, or we do it reluctantly. That's not what old boy wanted to do. This is what the Cowboys do, man. They do a lot of this. Now, again, I do think the Lions are more versatile and multiple in their run scheme. But maybe that's because we haven't seen everything from the Cowboys yet, too. Right? I don't think we've seen everything from the Cowboys just yet. Jeremy said, is it fun to watch against Guy? What are we talking about? Tape? Are we talking about tape? Big A said, hopefully we have that protection. Man, look. I get last week. 100%. No doubt about it. If we struggle, if we're on a struggle bus protection wise this week, boy, all more the reason to make sure you stay multiple and balanced and with the run game. And that's something that, again, I just really respect that Schotty and Clayton Adams have provided here, is a legitimate, efficient run game and the ability to remain balanced. I don't think they're spamming one way or the other. I don't care how pro run you are. You have to realize your best bet offensively on your best aspect of your team is your pass game. That doesn't mean you abandon the run. That doesn't mean you don't care about the run. It means, look, we don't have Saquon. We're not spamming that. We're not going to lean towards that. You're going to lean towards George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Jake Ferguson, Turpin. Like, that's what you're going to lean towards. But you need to make sure you have a complement to that. You need to make sure you can, if the game is tight, like the Cowboys game was tight, you can do this right here. This play just, I don't want to get killed because I ain't pausing it. Let me see, where's it at? I just think this is a great play. My bad. I just think this is just a really good. Now, obviously, breaking tackles by Javonte Williams was huge here, but I even think the execution on the blocking was really good. The duo and then the combo. Terrence, fine work. You go look on the other side. Tyler Guyton walling off his guy. You get Tyler Smith on the pull. Even Jalen Tolbert trying to get dirty. This is why everybody has to execute. Everybody has to be a part of it. In order to hit big runs. And then if you can get Javonte Williams getting downhill and you got guys trying to arm tackle, what my guys say? No. Can't arm tackle him. You heard, coach. He is one of the most physical players. He plays behind his pads. And he's just so comfortable within himself. Clayton Adams effect. Marlon Mack, James Conner. So far, Javonte Williams. 3 guys that are not elite high-end running backs in this league have never been that. But 3 guys where he either revived their career or he got career years out of. We got a long way to go with J. Will, but right now, it's looking mighty good. Mighty good. I'm just waiting for and hoping that we do get a Jaden Blue type then. If it's not going to be, I even think they understand that it ain't Miles. Let me go see something real quick. I don't want to see some snap count. I know he had the touchdown, and so I'm not going to knock him. Like there were a couple guys who had bounce back games in this from week 1. Miles Sanders with the touchdown holding on to the rock. Kenneth Murray had a bounce back game. He was better in this week than he was last week for sure. Right? There's guys who bounce back for sure. I just want to see something. So his snap count actually increased in this game from 11 to 20, but he only had 2 more run snaps than he had last week. He had more pass blocking snaps. Yeah, 20 snaps with Miles. I'd love to give those 20 snaps to somebody else if we could. But we'll see. Let's look over. Somebody said, get Clayton Adams a premium running back. Oh, boy. Well, when that happened, Jonathan Taylor broke records. Colts records, but nonetheless, I think he was well on his way to like a 2,000-yard season, wasn't he? Something like that. Had like 1,800 yards. Rookie record for the Colts. Adams was still on that staff. Granted, to keep him in that building, they had to promote him. But I don't think it was a coincidence. I'm not going to go break this whole thing down again, but it's not a coincidence. That's all I'm going to say. Everywhere he goes, that first year, the run game improves. I've been saying it forever. How much the run game improves will be determined via the running backs. Quality run game with the Colts when he had a Marlon Mack type. Elite run game with the Colts when he got a dude. All right? When he got a dude. All right, let's hit these. Talk to you guys in the chat. Phone lines if you want. 351-999-3787. Mafa on the way. Yeah, Mafa mirrors more of Javonte Williams. But, man, yeah, another downhill physical guy. For sure. Night Ranger said, go ahead and extend Clayton Adams. I told y'all from the rip, I think if the Cowboys over these next 2 years have a really good offense or offensive line or run game, Clayton Adams is likely going to get a head coaching job somewhere. But the good thing is, I think you can keep Connor and your play caller doesn't leave. That's the good thing. That's where teams get hurt. Thunder and Thunder. Hey, if it's your best bet, then let's roll with it. You know what I mean? If it's your best bet, let's go. Marcus said that running back is coming next year. I believe so. I mean, we thought that the last 2 years, Marcus. At least I did. I thought the last 2 seasons the Cowboys would draft a running back higher than the 6th and 5th round, like a lead guy, not a space satellite guy, Deuce. And then love what Blue can bring, but he's still also that's again more of a compliment guy. That's more of a change of pace guy, right? All right, before I hit the phone lines, got to talk to you about Sleeper. I got my picks coming up on Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Friday, I'll drop my picks. Again, I feel confident. Russ killed me. We would have hit. If you used my ticket, I apologize. I did not see Russell Wilson going the hell off in that manner. So Russ killed me. But that's cool. Stick with your boy. Stick with your boy. I promise you, I'm going to get you some money. And the best way to do it, if you believe you have football acumen, you are knowledgeable, then turn that knowledge into bread with the Sleeper app, the ultimate fantasy sports app that can turn game day into payday. All you got to do is go download the app right now, and you can pick more or less on your favorite players. You got to choose at least 2. I usually always do about 3. Sometimes I feel a little good now, and I go 4, right? If you want to really get some bread, but more or less, and you can win up to 100 times your money. Make sure you use my promo code though, right here, STEEL, STEELE, and terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms and details. You get $100 deposit match up to 100. All right, use the promo code STEEL, STEELE. All right, let's talk to our guy Marco from Charlotte. Good morning, man. How you doing?
What's up? What up, Scott? You doing all right, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, hey, Scott, you made a point a couple weeks ago that made so much sense. We have no sense of direction in this organization. If you knew you was gonna trade Micah, why not sign J. Lou? Why not sign D-Law back? Why not sign I'm so sick of Jerry them. I'm so done.
Well, Marco, you can't buy that part, right? Like, don't get yourself upset with that. That's just him trying to save face or whatever. We should know this clearly wasn't the plan, right? Like this was not the plan. This is him reacting to how things turned out, and I do think both parties had a hand to play into that. But this wasn't the plan, and I wish he would stop going on these tours, these world tours, trying to tell everybody, yeah, we the smartest men in the room. We was thinking about this in January. We were going to make stop it. You know, like, you ain't got to lie to us. So I don't get upset with it because Scott, it's a lie.
Yeah, it's a lie. Hey, Scott, and then I don't trust you with 4 first round draft picks. I mean, your percentage ain't looking too good no more.
Really?
Your percentage looking pretty. I really don't. I don't like Guyton. I don't. It's a lot of guys that you missed on a lot lately. You hit on Smith, but a lot of these guys, man.
Fair. The jury is still out on Guyton. the Mozzie Smith is over, right? That's done. I mean, people have been scared to use the term. Not people, fans been using bust, but creators been scared to say bust. Like, let's be real. It's a bust of a pick. It is what it is. So fair that lately it's been not great, but if you go look at collectively under Will McClay and them boys, yeah, I'm definitely confident in the first round picks. But my whole thing about the picks, and I've been saying it forever, I don't know if people are really looking at it this way, is that those picks won't really be high end who we want them to be for at least 2 or 3 seasons. So we're talking about 29, 30. That's when we're talking about, those first round. Now, if they come in there Micah Parsons, awesome. But even Tyler Guyton wasn't the all-world Tyler Guyton year one. Right? So
Tyler Smith, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tyler Smith, correct. Wasn't the all-world Tyler Smith year one. It took till year 2. So what? Again, 28, 29, 30. And if that's our outlook, right, we don't really care for the immediate future. We're looking at the between 29 and 30 plus. Then that's fine if that's your outlook. I actually want to win before 29. Yeah, so I would use some of those picks to go get a dude.
Hey, Scott, this is my last point. I'm going to let you go.
All right.
If you really want to win, call Cleveland and tell them I'll give you 3 picks for Myles Garrett. I mean, if you want to win.
I got some for
Thank you, Scott.
Appreciate you, Marco.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
Hey,
all right,
y'all see let me see if I can pull this up, by the way. Because I don't want y'all to think I'm making this up. And I don't even know how true this is, but... y'all see the Dexter Lawrence joint? See, I don't like Big Blue film. He is respectable in breaking down the film. I know who he is. I don't. Giants fans, if you're in, I have no idea how plugged in he is, though. Let me see if I can pull this up. Apologies. What my guy Law be saying? We building a plane in the air. There's that. So, I don't know again who we talking to. I don't know how true this is, but per Big Blue Film Room, Dexter Lawrence. Oh no, this is from Jordan Rannon. I think this is an insider for the Giants. He says Dexter Lawrence is getting very frustrated and it's becoming. You can see it in the building little by little. Can y'all see this right here? Dexter Lawrence is frustrated in the building and it's becoming apparent little by little. Now listen, I don't think they would want to do this within the division, but boy, who you want? Can let's just have a little fun. Let's have a little fun on this Wednesday. Osa Digizua in the first round pick. Would you do it? I don't even know if the Giants would do it, to be honest. Boy, in a heartbeat. I think having Clark and Dexter Lawrence next to each other would be crazy. But yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest with you. Just something, looking at trying to make some sense of the situation, trying to make some sense of potential, trade candidates. I don't think Myles Garrett is realistic, though. I've said this many a times. I think the most realistic potential trade candidate at the edge position is Trey Hendrickson. And while I wouldn't throw a first at him, I would definitely throw my second round. I mean, what do you got to lose with the second round picks? Let me see here. All right, so I guess that don't work no more. That's cool. All right, let's get 346 in the building. You are live.
Hey, man, thank you for taking my call. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, man. Good morning, sir. Hey, they're not trading for Trey Hendrickson. Hey, that's the Michael situation all over again. You're going to trade him for a year, and you're not going to pay him. That's what you're going to do.
Now, I think if they traded for Trey, he'd be easier to pay because I don't think he's going to demand. I don't even think he's going to get $40 million. I think he'll get well under the $40 million.
What are we talking about?
He's going to be 31, 32. He's still high end. Say again.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And Henderson is, what is it? He's 30 right now, or he'll be 30 sometime this season.
He's already. I think he's 31, y'all. I mean, I go check, but yeah, he's much older than Micah. So I don't think he'll get paid as what Micah was going to get paid.
Oh well, we'll see. Jerry and them they do wild stuff. That would be a nice get. And that's a win now type thing.
He'll be 31 this year, the end of this year. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we in a rebuild, a soft rebuild, because you got a couple of dudes on the team, and Jerry don't know what he's doing. But as it pertains to what I want to see happen Sunday, man, against the Bears, man, I'm kind of intrigued by this Caleb Williams thing, man. Have you been following what's going on with him?
I have
with
not.
Caleb Williams
Today and tomorrow are my days to take a look at the Bears offense, like study tape wise. I kind of just been following it. You know, I watched Monday Night Football, briefly just watched the game, the broadcast version of some of the plays against Detroit. But it sounds like there's some frustration brewing with Ben Johnson.
That's interesting to me. I know sometimes, again, people rave and harp on talent, and kid can do this and the guy can do that, and he's got something missing in terms of just how he's processing and what he's doing. Caleb's still a young guy, and it's not like Chicago know a whole hell of a lot about what they're doing or putting a team together.
If I had to guess about Caleb, and this was my concern coming out, it had nothing to do with his talent. It had everything to do with the mental aspect of the game. And I'm not talking about like he can't read a defense or anything, but just the mental toughness, the coachability, the attitude, things like that comes into play, because you could be uber talented and be Jeff George, who was a problem when it came to all that.
Right,
and I know
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I think Kalen is very and look, these type of quarterbacks, I don't mind arrogance. But I feel like Caleb is very arrogant, because everywhere he's been, it's like, man, what you talking about? I'm that dude. And there's a certain way and a certain style, right, that Ben wants you to play. And if you're not playing within that, I've noticed that he is a guy that will get pissed the hell off. And Goff played within it very well. Caleb is a guy that will break play or will hold ball or will try to make this and that happen. And look, it's good sometimes, but also play within the structure of the offense. And I guarantee you, Ben Johnson's offense will get you some looks, especially the scripted part. It's when it goes unscripted, I think, is when there's been issues.
Okay. It's funny. I wonder who's going. I just want to wonder over there, kind of looking far off. I wonder who's going to blink first, Johnson or Williams. I just wonder which one of them going to blink first. Is Ben Johnson going to cater more to what Williams want to do, or are they going to do something else? But as it pertains to the boys, man. It's just funny. It's just funny. I hear all this stuff all the time about, talent over there, players over plays and stuff like that. They put a lot of money in getting Johnson over there. So that'd be funny how they shake out. But man, I am so impressed with Schottenheimer. I'm kind of hanging up a whole lot on him that I know he really can't do because of Jerry. But it just seems to me that at least early on in this relationship, that Schottenheimer has the reins. Yeah. And as long as Schottenheimer doesn't give Jerry the feeling that Jerry's not, Jerry will let him drive as long as Schottenheimer doesn't remind him that he's not driving. You know what I mean? You have to work with what you got, and hopefully
you got to work with Jerry.
As far as picks,
right?
You got to work.
Jerry said it. There's an interview out there. There's an interview out there where Jerry, it might have been this past year when they were, I can't remember when it was, but he basically said, I think it actually was an old interview. He said, what I'm looking for coaches, I'm looking for a coach that's going to work with me, right? Like that's going, not do his own thing, but we doing this together type thing. And I get in general, you want everybody working together. Like I'm not trying to say that's a bad thing. But Jerry Jones, let these coaches do their thing, brother. You ain't a coach. You barely a GM. Let them do their thing. You go handle the business aspect, pretty boy. Go handle the business.
Yeah. Hopefully, Jerry's going to let Schottenheimer do his thing. And up to this point, that's kind of been what it is. he didn't force anybody on Schottenheimer's staff. Schottenheimer wouldn't pick his own staff. Guys, he's a far cry away from what Mike McCarthy was, who I had a lot of respect for. But Schottenheimer quantum leap forward in a lot of ways, not just the X's and O's. So it's going to be interesting to see. Now, I don't have any expectations for this season other than see that there's growth from week to week. Yeah. There's potential, and I really like this. I'm really liking the way him and Dak are working. They seem to be working the same way. I thought coming in that it was going to be funny to watch out. That hear Schottenheimer say, "Well, we're going to run the football," and now he sees Dak slinging it all over the place, and now he can't put it down. So it's funny to see how that's going to work out. But man, now I'm just going to have some fun this season. I kind of put my expectations on the back burner. And just want to see how this thing shakes out. I think Schottenheimer's a get. I think he's a get. I think he's a get. So we'll see what happens, man. I don't know. Watch the game and hopefully they don't run this into the dirt like they trying to do with the Giants. But I'm gonna let you go, man. Thank you for taking my call.
Yep, appreciate the call, man. Good one. Yeah, I'm I keep forgetting this ain't working. Yeah, man, I'm very impressed so far with Schotty. I told you guys coming out the game, I felt better. Not better, stacked. It was for me. He stacked on top of what I thought was a quality first game, and it wasn't clean, right? It wasn't. I don't think as clean as week one might have started. Obviously, it was the exact opposite to start, but he didn't go into the tank. He didn't panic, him or Dak. I do think we are seeing, and it's very early. We could potentially be seeing that OC quarterback relationship that we kind of been clamoring for, and not from a, hey, off field, Kellen was my roommate and all that. That was too close. I think we're seeing a legitimate coach, player, OC quarterback relationship that you need in this league when you have a top guy like that. And again, 2 weeks, but 2 weeks I'm encouraged because this is a totally different offense. This is not your grandfather's Cowboys. Nope, not at all. And it's been efficient. It's been balanced. And for the most part, when they needed to have it, they've been doing that. Even in week one, it wasn't because of the play call, wasn't because of the cues, because you guys dropped the ball. So I'm encouraged for sure. And then just from a just head coach standpoint too, we knew there's gonna come times where we're gonna look at Shy like, what the hell are you doing? Our game management like, what the hell are you doing? But I still don't come out of week 1 or 2 like I was in the previous years. Am I screaming about the management? Am I screaming about the play calling? Of course, it's not gonna be a perfect script game or play calling game, but I'm more encouraged on the management and play calling than not, if that makes sense. Man, let's get our Hall of Fame caller up in here, Sonny from Colorado. What's up with you, Sonny?
Hey, how about them Cowboys?
How about them, baby?
Hey, I just want to say good morning, and you guys do. I loved your show last night. I watch that Collective all the time. That's probably my favorite show.
Let's go.
It really is. I like having when all you guys are together.
Yeah, it was good. So one thing I'm learning on that show, because we're on a panel of 4. Y'all know on here I talk to you guys a lot or whatnot. Fans was getting mad because we weren't talking to the chat, but we got to understand it's 4 of us. So we're all trying to give our opinions on things, and I'm learning how to debate with 4. But y'all know me. Hey, man.
Yeah,
if I hear something, I'll debate you.
And when you 4 are on, when you guys are really on, I'm not saying you guys were on last. You guys were okay last night, but when you all 4 are on, it's completely awesome. Because you guys do throw a lot of good stuff out there, and you guys know your games.
Thank you.
When all 4 of you are clicking.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, I just want to say I don't know what the hell happened. I don't know if it's because we traded Michael Parsons. I kind of believe what your guy said in the chat, Special K, what he said about them trading Michael Parsons. Maybe that got our front office to start doing stuff, So be it, You
talk about maybe in the offseason we'll move differently so that they can be proven right about the Parsons trade? I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so, Sonny.
Hell yeah, you can. Sonny, can we get a hell yeah? Hell yeah.
Shouts out to Sonny.
Hey,
the
game I'm waiting for.
I'm sorry.
The game I'm waiting for is that I know we're going to beat Green Bay. I just have a feeling That's going to be a damn good game. You
Green
know,
Bay?
what's your feelings on that game?
Well,
I'm kind of looking past the Bears, but
oh boy, yeah, I'm not there. I'm not there just yet, Sonny. But that's gonna be a challenge. Green Bay game's gonna be a challenge. But we got to handle these Bears first.
Does Philadelphia play the Green Bay too this year?
That's a good question. I believe so. I think everybody plays the NFC North. Yep. So yeah, they'll play them, right?
When do they play them? When do they get to play them next?
Boy, I have no.
I know we got them. We got them here in the next 2 weeks.
I have
Green
no
Bay.
clue. They play them though, because the NFC East plays.
Washington's already played them.
Yeah.
You know, the Giants. You know, I don't understand. You know, they used to be. They'll get their act together, but I'm sure glad it's not this year. You know.
I just they always the Giants to me until proven otherwise, until they pull another 2007, 2011 or potential Washington of last year move.
And I wanted to ask you, I asked Law what was your pick on how far the Cowboys, what was your pick for the year? The Cowboys were going to be at?
I think the Cowboys can win 10 games, which will put them likely in the playoffs.
You went 10-7.
I didn't necessarily make a record.
Oh, that's right. You don't.
I think they can be a double-digit win team, barring any catastrophic injuries. I don't go down by.
I went 13-4 is what I went.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm kind of like you, you know. But right now it looks like I haven't been watching the Ravens play. I don't know how they're looking, but right now it looks like, you know, Philadelphia is kind of a man. They're just lucky they won the last 2 games. You know, we had them on the ropes, too. That was a tough game.
No,
that Philadelphia game was.
You're not lying.
But, hey, at least we didn't get blown out. That was the main thing I was worried about. You know, at least we didn't get blown out.
We ain't going to get blown out, man. Our offense too good, Sonny.
You believe so?
Yeah, our offense too good, bro. We can score with everybody, Sonny.
Yep. So this Bears game, we should win that then, like we did the Giants game, is what you're saying.
I pray it don't go like that, boy. I don't got another overtime, back-to-back 40-30 side. Come on, man. I like to win a little more comfortably.
Yeah, I heard you guys on there last night talking about how bad they were, but you guys were talking last week how bad the Giants were, and we should do this and that.
Yeah.
God damn, I hope it don't turn out to be another one of them. My old heart can take it.
Oh, Sonny, that heart can't take it up there in Colorado, boy.
No, it finally snowed up here, though. It snowed a couple days ago up on the mountains.
Damn, already. Man, well, look, Sonny,
you
enjoy that beautiful view.
But that last storm we had.
You enjoy that beautiful view in Colorado, and you keep on keeping on, Sonny.
Yeah. Hey, good luck, boss.
Thank you, brother. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I just want to let you know you're doing a good job, and
thank you, sir.
And everything, and you guys are doing great. Keep up the good work.
You too, man. That's Sonny. That's our guy. You want to talk about a complete 180? This is why I love the Bomb Squad. We go from our guy Sonny up there in Colorado, enjoying the beautiful view, you know. You go from our guy Sonny to the East Coast. VIP, baby.
Sonny, what up? Sky, what up? It's VIP, baby.
The Cowboys bring all types together. Can you imagine Sonny in the room with VIP in the room? We just kicking and talking Cowboys ball. What's up with you, bro?
First, respectfully, Sky, I had a meeting yesterday. I had to dip off, so that's why I couldn't stay on yesterday. But I definitely want to talk to my brother because you and I have a lot of the same ideology. That might be too big of a word for, the morning for some of the breakfast. We have the same outlooks as far as how we see the game. Yesterday, I wanted to tap in when you was going in yesterday, when you and Fuss was going. Yo, I love that. I love that, yo. I loved it. And I see it in your eyes. I was like, yo, Sky and I, yo, B, I rocks with you, man. I want to say that before I get the rest of this off. I rocks with you, and I love the way. I just love the way you carry yourself, B. You know, no Diddy. I just love the way you move, and I love the way you think. You heard?
I appreciate that, brother. He's still working on me. I'm still working on trying to be better at that, at debating and whatnot. But yeah, I like it. And look, for those who are new to the collective, man, that's what you're going to meet. Me and Foots, we going to squabble sometimes. You know, as long as Foots wants to squabble. He didn't want to squabble yesterday, but I made him squabble. And it was fun. I thought it was fun for the fans. I thought we got some good point of views from Foots and myself and others. And sometimes you need to have that.
But I do want you to send this to Foots. Let Foots know that I know what he was saying, but you have to look at what I watched all of our games 3 times. The first time because I'm an emotional person. The first time I watch it, I'm under my emotions. The second time, I'm watching it to dissect it. The third time, I'm watching it just as an overseer.
Mm-hmm.
So now I watch the game, and first, somebody give my goddamn quarterback some respect. I watched him under pressure throw into double teams that we would have been screaming, no, Dak, don't throw it. That last, I know you saw it, Scott. That pass he threw at that to CD into that double team, that was a dime.
It's perfect.
Was it not, Scott?
What I noticed that he's doing, and he's doing it with Pickens as well. And this is one thing I respect about his improvement over his career is just give your guy a shot, right? Like throw it up and give your guy a shot. But that was perfect, man. And he tried to do it when he threw the pick, which really wasn't a pick, but he couldn't step up into it. If he was able to step into it, he throws it up, and I think Lamb comes down with it. But yeah, he has some throws over these first 2 weeks that have been some of the best in the league.
And that tells me we have the same ideology because the reason he couldn't step up, we didn't know our center had a broken ankle or whatever. But that's what caused it because BB, and I've never seen BB get pushed back like that. And I was like, damn, what's going on? But now it kind of made sense after, all the reports came out that, is it a high sprain? What is it with BB?
Yeah, I thought it was a high sprain at first they said, but I was told, let me go look at my text message. I think it came out with like an actual term on it, but it was a sprain for sure. I can't find it.
It's got to be a severe sprain. If they said 4 to 6 weeks, that's a
6 to 8. It's I think it also is 6 foot. 6 to 8, and I believe his foot as well. I think something is going on with his foot. I think like a bone bruise or something. A lateral ankle sprain is what I was told, and I think there's something with the foot. So it was pretty bad.
Wow. So yeah, I know he tried to tough it out. You can see he tried to tough it out, but then he just couldn't stand doing it. So, and I rock with BB. But I understand, like, where we get so caught up in our emotions when we come to Cowboys. Like, we're looking at, like, Steele, bro, we don't replace Steele. I watched Steele get walked back a few times. He's a better run blocker than he is a pass blocker. Am I wrong? My eyes deceiving me, Scott?
No, I don't think anybody would disagree with that. He's definitely a better run blocker. And power gave him trouble a lot, especially speed to power in that game. And that's what it is. He just cannot. He's not a powerful guy in his anchor.
So that's the link that I was thinking about. I don't know if we can replace him or if it's too early. I think it's too.
I don't think they're going to replace him now, but I think they're looking at these tackles, and I don't think it's going to be Guyton because it's the first round pick, and unless he gets going on a downhill spiral like last year, then they'll do it. But I think it's Steele. I think they're going to put pressure on Terrence, and if he doesn't, step up against quality type of edges, because I thought he was fine in pass game against Philly, much better than he was against the Giants. It was poor from a power standpoint. From a power standpoint, when they weren't playing power against him, he was fine. When they got power, which I don't know why they just don't run in his chest every time, it was a struggle bus.
And it's every time. That's what I said. I just see that as the weakest link. But I'm gonna keep it pushed. What is our what's going on with Turnup? Well, I call him Turpin.
I mentioned it earlier. He got a neck sprain, but they said that he could play this week. So we're gonna see. We're gonna follow it.
We need that because if you notice, I know that and this is what I want to give. I called him a YN. He gonna be a YN until he changed my perception. I mess with Schotty. I mess with who was that guy that we got from Arizona? What's his name? Yeah, no, those two together.
Mm-hmm.
See, I saw the guy I didn't even want in the game walk in the end zone untouched because of their run block scheme.
Yeah. Oh, again, the 2 touchdown runs, just fantastic. It blocked across the board. Guyton, Terrence, BB, or it might have been Brock at that point. No, I think it was BB. Booker and Tyler across the board was fantastic. I thought it was a difficult ask on the what's the name touchdown run, but it was a beautifully blocked. But yeah, it was Clayton Adams, man. Clayton Adams, he's so good.
Yeah, no, I rock with him. And that's what gives me faith, like you said, because people think that we're a pass-heavy offense, but if you look at the game, he always stayed balanced. Even that run to 33 at the end, people was like, damn, why is he running? Oh, good run. You know, because remember that game when he broke out? I think it was like an 18, 15-yard run at the end. And everybody was like, man, I don't know if that was in overtime. I believe that was in OT when he did that. And he broke out 33. I rocks with 33. Oh, man, I rocks with him. He runs hard.
Yes, sir.
He runs hard. He plays hard. I like this kid, but I just think that we definitely need Blue Magic for that, for just that, like Detroit has, that mix-up.
Indeed, brother. Indeed. Hey, appreciate the call, VIP. Got to keep it moving, man. I gotta get going here soon, bro.
Oh, you know what it is. How about damn Cowboys? I ain't a killer, but don't push me, B.
Don't push them. Let's get to our final call of the morning. Go from our guy Sonny, our guy VIP, to our guy Nacho from the Bay. Good morning, Nacho. How we doing, man?
Sky?
Yes, sir. You are live.
Can you hear me? Okay,
yes,
okay.
Yes, indeed.
Man, I don't know. It's been a while. Man, what a start to the season. Hopefully you well and everything. I've been following you along, and just, I've been on a different schedule with work and everything, so
yeah,
haven't been able to call in and everything. But no, thank you for taking my call.
Always.
No, I'm very excited about. It's kind of like a tale of two tapes, right, Sky? You go to Philadelphia, you look a certain way. I don't think many of us expected us to really, be as prepared and play as inspired as we did at Philly. And then we come back at home and maybe seem like we got a little complacent, and it took maybe a little lightly. And here you go, you kind of get punched in the mouth with a few injuries that were a concern at the back end. But, it was just very disappointing to see the undisciplined play, in our secondary on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
And but we showed some resilience, right? And we came back and found a way to win, those ugly wins that sometimes you got to do what you got to do in the NFL. Moving forward, Sky, with everything happening, and of course, but I do like the direction of our football team. I do like the direction with the coaching staff, our scheme. It's going to take a while to implement everything, right, and kind of get things moving. But how do you see things coming into Chicago? And by the way, let me add, and I'll let you say your thing. I am part of my August birthday. I try to do every year, Sky, if I can, with family. We are traveling Friday through Monday. We are going to be in Chicago, and I will be there. I will be there. So I'm very excited about that.
Nice. So you're going to be there this weekend?
Yeah, I'll be there, Sky. We're traveling Friday with the wife and our two kids, and the tickets were really high priced and everything, but I was able to somehow, some way, grab some tickets, a few months ago, and I was able to do it in worst case, we were going to be in Chicago, just end up, we're there, enjoy the city, and just kind of go to a sports bar, watch it. But then I was there. Let's go. We're going to be there. So I'm excited.
Awesome. Let us know, a call in next week. Let us know how it went, man. I hear Chicago's an amazing city to visit, specifically when it ain't cold outside. But appreciate the call there, Nacho.
Hey, I appreciate that. Have a great day, Scott.
You too, brother. You too.
Bye-bye.
That was fun. That was fun. I might start doing that for our regulars, man. I might start doing that for our regulars. Because, sometimes some of our regulars, they turn into characters because, we make them characters. What I appreciate, though, is that they don't overdo it. There was a gentleman who we tried to have fun with years ago or a year ago, whatever it's been. And boy, he took it and he tried to run with it. It was just like, all right, relax, guy. Relax. You're doing a little bit too much here. But I like to engage in that way with y'all, make it fun for everybody. And good stuff. Good stuff from Sonny, VIP, Marco, Nacho. If I missed somebody, apologies. There's a couple others that were new there, first-time callers. Shouts out to you. Good stuff today. Appreciate y'all. Y'all know how we're doing a breakdown. Here's what we're going to do. I don't know if we have many supers, but let me make sure I go check this out for... yeah, we got a couple here. We'll get to some supers. I'm not sure what happened to the music. So what we're going to do is we'll play this. Chip. Let's get to some super chat shots out to 17th. Bow. Ike. Nah, that's messed up. Ike turn. $2 super chat. Can we leave Matt E in Chicago for a Chief Keef CD? Hey, yo. Look, y'all. Y'all ready to fire him already? Like, look, he gonna catch this heat. He gonna catch this smoke. Players gonna catch it too, right? Because we live week to week. But fire? Are we ready to fire? I don't know that I'm ready to fire. What I'm ready to do is see him adjust, right? That's where I'm at with it. I'm not on the fire him train. I'm on okay, that shit ain't work. What's your adjustment moving forward? And honestly, the first 2 weeks was a little, but how do we adjust moving forward? Is it personnel adjustments? Is it game plan adjustments? I'm ready to see him adjust because it's not always going to be pretty, right? It's not. And there's going to be times where you hope this shit don't happen, but there's going to be times where the defense struggles. How do you bounce back? How do you adjust to it? That's what I'm looking forward to seeing over the next few weeks from Matt Eberflus. His resume speaks for itself. It is a quality resume from a defensive mind standpoint. A little antiquated, but it does speak for itself. Maybe it's just personnel changes that they need to make, but I ain't ready to kick him off just yet. Exactly, Dro. You know exactly who I was talking about. Boy, he done took the whole thing and went uber disrespectful with it. But Josh Blaze, shouts out to my OG Johnny Blaze, dropped 5 and said, "At what point do we consider moving Guyton to right tackle?" Where I don't keep saying it, but I'm gonna explain. We'll read it out. Let's read it full time. At what point do we consider moving Guyton to right tackle where he's most comfortable and play Nate at left? Work through the growing pains and develop young guys. So, I think that is one of the most misguided, in my opinion, thoughts on Tyler Guyton. When people say this about Tyler Guyton moving to right tackle, they say this with this confidence or assumption that Tyler Guyton has played right tackle for like 46 games in his college career. He has 13 college starts. He does not have a ton. In fact, he has more experience playing on the left side now than he does playing on the right side. So I don't agree with that. He's more comfortable over there. In fact, according to him, I mean, in my opinion, according to him, he came out when he got drafted and said, "I'm more comfortable on the left." That's number one. Number two, the issues you see with Tyler Guyton are the same issues you saw with Tyler Guyton on the right side. Like it's not about, I think, left or right. I just think it's about technique. So I don't think automatically shifting him to right tackle just solves his technique problem. He had the same technical problems in college. Gotta get Vach on here, man. We gonna sit down and watch some tape because there's aspects of his game. I talk just about you guys a lot where instead of him being in, and I said this to y'all before, I keep saying it. They both have their flaws with our tackles, but they're both completely different. If you give Terrence, Guyton's doesn't have a lot of power, but he has better power. He's been better as an anchor, I think. You give him that ability, and then you give Tyler Terrence's technique, hands, much better this year, by the way. I think in general, though, I think you don't have any problems. But go watch. You see the difference. Because I remember in 23 after the 23? Yeah. You saw Terrence technique. Woo. Crazy. And I said, go watch Tyron Smith. And you saw the difference. Go watch Terrence and watch Tyler. You see the difference. Go watch Tyler's power anchor and go watch Terrence's. You see the difference. I'm not sure. Maybe he reverts back to, sometimes where you just revert back to what you know, your old habits, your bad habits. It takes some time to break habits. There's times where Tyler's just inviting guys in. But then there's times where you see him just dance, man. And it's so good. He gets to a spot well. Right? When he doesn't open up his chest and he's not out here with it and he's here with it, you see that's what he can be, right? I don't think it's as egregious as last year from an overall standpoint. I think he's a little better than that. And I think, again, the ceiling is too high. So I don't use the word worried. You got to just fight through that with Tyler. Terrence is a different story. I can evaluate Terrence from a quarterly standpoint and say, hey, look, this ain't working out. We're going to bring somebody else in. So that's kind of my spiel on the whole thing. I don't think switching him to right tackle is an automatic fixer. Ironically, y'all correct me if I'm wrong here. I know Nate played a lot of left, which was surprising me. And he played it, I thought, pretty well, or developed pretty well. He is more skilled as a right tackle to me, more built to be a right tackle, more of a just more. Guyton is more of a left tackle. The feet, the quickness, the speed, I can get to my landing mark, right? The technique ain't quite there just yet, but so I would, if we're going to make a move, it'd be Nate for Steele, and I'd keep Guyton there. But if Guyton is not reliable, I guess you got to play around with what you can play around with, Tino, that's where I would put Nate in for Terrence if they're going to make a switch. I put Nate in for Cuzzo. Yeah. By the way, we got a lot of new people in here. Shouts out to you over the last year. Terrence Steele's not my real cousin. It's a bit we've been playing for the last like 3 or 4 seasons. It all started with 2020, how poor he was playing, and we're like, hey man, he's not invited to the cookout and all this other stuff. He's the cousin that's in the crib, yada yada yada. And then every time Terrence played decently, he became my second cousin, and then became my first cousin, and then became Cuzzo. So that's where it came from. He's not my real cousin, y'all. So I've had people be like, yo, your cousin is, whoa, that's not my real cousin. I'm just waiting for the day that Terrence, but hey, bro, he hit me up. Yo, stop calling me your cousin. Wait for the day. Dro dropped 5. It said, only concern is having Hoff Brockman. Brock. I got to get that drop back, by the way. Hoffman at center. My only concern is having Brock Hoffman at center. Running back for next year, check out Jeremiah Love at Notre Dame. I definitely know who that is. He can do it all. I agree. So I don't have concerns with Brock Hoffman, especially early on. Brock is the consummate professional. He's proven to be a quality depth guy. And what I love about Clayton is Clayton will alter what they want to do, what he wants to do to the strengths of his guys. And I said this, I think, on Twitter. You may not see a lot of power things from the center. You may see more combo, get to the second, more pulling, get out in space. He talked about that in Arizona, how he tried to do X, Y, Z, and then he said, I got a center that can get out in space. I got a center that can pull. And he did more of that. So I do believe they'll play towards that strength of his. The if you want to call it a concern, is what happens after 3 games, what happens after 4 games, because that's where Brock Hoffman starts to tail off. You see, that's why he's a backup. But in stints, in the short stint, a couple games, a series, whatever. Yeah, I feel very confident that Brock will come in and give you, enough for sure. But fortunately, and I hope I don't come back to this comes back to bite me in the ass here. Dexter Lawrence, uber powerful player who we saw Brock battle as a guard. I think maybe as a center too. There's no Dexter Lawrence from a power standpoint. They got I think it's Javon Dexter. His length though, he's 6 foot, 6'6", I think, like 315-ish, but he's not Dexter Lawrence. You know what I mean? So at least this week, you hope that Brock can make it work. Somebody said, yes, he is, Sky. Terrence, my cousin, bro. I guess Still's a common name. It doesn't feel that common to me, at least around here. There's only a couple Still families around here. Dwayne Morris dropped 2 and said Sam Williams in the 3rd for Trey Hendrickson. Wow, in a heartbeat if they wanted to. No knock on Sam. I think Sam is starting to get his sea legs up under him. Javavian Clowney's in here. I think is going to help balance that room a little bit more. And you hope with that balance, less snaps across the board means more efficiency with those said snaps. But Sam is what he is. He doesn't have a bat. He's going to beat you with power. Once he gets his legs up under him, he does have that speed, right? He has a dog mentality to him. So just got to get going. He's coming off the injury. He's a guy I never really was trying to rely on in the first place. He was a guy that was like a cherry on top piece for me. But it is what it is right now. He's got to be a guy we got to lean on. And we'll see how much more he improves as we go. Because right now, I don't think you have a dynamic guy. You got to get all these guys to go. But last week in the clutch, Sam Williams helped get the pressure. All right, so hopefully he builds on top of that. What's good, body? And then Aaron dropped 2. Shouts out to Aaron. He said, will this defense contain Caleb Williams' legs? TBD. That is to be decided because we saw what Hurts did. And if you look at week 1, I think Caleb had like 50-some rush yards. Week 2, he had a rush touchdown. So, yeah, that aspect of it is going to be rough because you don't have a legitimate spy like a Demo. So, and this is why I think not being able to get, the quick pressure or get the quick sacks, that's where it can come and hurt you just a little bit. Because eventually you're going to get pressure, right? The offensive line can't hold up forever unless you go. There was a 1 pass play from Justin Herbert, boy. He had about 10 seconds in that pocket. But if you can get there quick, don't allow them to escape outside. Don't allow them to. That's where it helps. But I wonder if they do a muddle rush this week, try to cave in the pocket, take advantage of the interior of their offensive line, which I got to go take a look at. I know they signed a couple guys, I believe, but that's where your strength lies. Solomon Thomas, Clark, Osa, right? That's where your strength lies. Is on that interior, and then you hope push in the pocket, not allow him to step up. We make that hump shorter, and that's where you guys can close and win. But I tell you what. Marshawn Nealon, Jadeveon Clowney, from a power standpoint, if we can affect the depth of that pocket, and here I am talking about the Bears offense, but if we can affect the depth of that pocket, Nealon and Jadeveon Clowney, they have enough power to push these tackles back, make him try to escape out that left side, offense left, defense right, and that's where you want to see if it's Sam over there, Fowler, Izaraku, you want to see them win. And I believe that's it. Night Ranger, that's a good point. It could, I never really looked into that. But yeah, PA still, yeah. Yeah, you're right. The Smiths, the Steels, names back in the day associated with what you did, you're right. And that will do it, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate you guys coming through this morning. Really good show. Run this thing back if you missed it. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button on your way out. I'll be back Friday live breaking down the Bears offense. I'm going to try to get this recording done with 2i to drop our show today. So make sure I hit that notification bell. All right. Stay up. We got more content coming. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and press this button.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
Make sure y'all keep it locked to the best goddamn Dallas Cowboys morning show in the land, baby. We gonna get there. Hit the noti bells. Not sure when it's gonna drop, but it should be dropping later today. Love y'all. Got it.